What causes hurricanes? How are they formed? One of my earliest memories is being a young kid in New England during Hurricane Bob. My older sister had graciously let me play with her Barbies as a way to ease the stress of the storm, while we were huddled in an interior part of the house. As a particularly loud boom, perhaps thunder or a tree falling, sounded while I brushed the doll's hair, I jumped. My fear caused me to grasp the hair tightly. The sudden jerk caused me to rip the head off of the Barbie, which my sister was not very happy about. I also have a vague memory of emerging after the storm, to a cloudy sky, heavy and humid air, a soggy lawn, tree branches all over the place, and a downed tree or two in the neighborhood. In the grand scheme of hurricane stories, this one is memorable, but not so severe. More recent hurricanes, like Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Harvey, have caused billions of dollars of damage, destroyed homes, and taken countless lives. Today we will share about what causes hurricanes, how are they formed. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update on our ongoing exploration of weather and the world around us. What is a hurricane? Technically, hurricanes are a type of tropical cyclone. When one of these powerful storms forms over the Atlantic Ocean or the northeastern Pacific Ocean, it is called a hurricane. Hurricanes that form over the Atlantic Ocean are often called Atlantic hurricanes, while those formed over the Pacific Ocean are often called Pacific hurricanes. When a tropical cyclone occurs in the northwestern Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, South Pacific Ocean, or South Atlantic Ocean, it is called a typhoon. Other names for tropical cyclones include cyclonic storm, tropical depression, cyclone. What is a tropical cyclone? Tropical cyclones are complex storms that have a center of low air pressure. The storm rotates rapidly around this center. Around the center, the storm has high winds, thunderstorms, and heavy rain. However, the center, also known as the eye of the storm, is often eerily calm. Fun fact: all cyclonic storms spin counterclockwise in the Northern Hemisphere and clockwise in the Southern Hemisphere due to the Earth's rotation. Tropical cyclones get their name from their spinning nature and the places where they usually form tropical seas. They get their fuel from warm tropical water. What causes a hurricane? Hurricanes and other tropical cyclones are caused by a confluence of events, creating the perfect storm. It starts as a simple low-pressure area over a warm ocean. In low-pressure areas, the air is thinner. Wind tends to blow into low-pressure areas because there is less resistance. In the case of a hurricane, the warm and moist ocean air from condensation and evaporation is sucked up into this low-pressure area. The air rises, forming clouds, but then it cools off since it is no longer close to the warm water. This creates clouds and thunderstorms, eventually forming a hurricane. Trade winds blowing towards the west push Atlantic hurricanes toward the Caribbean, Central America, and the eastern and southern coast of the United States as they are forming. Do hurricanes like warm or cold water? Most experts agree that the ocean must be between 79 and 81 degrees Fahrenheit to form a tropical disturbance that will eventually turn into a hurricane. If the ocean is warmer than that, the storm may become more intense or form even more quickly than usual. When and how often do hurricanes form? Hurricanes, as well as other types of tropical cyclones, mainly form in the summer months, when the ocean is warmest. However, there have been tropical disturbances and depressions that have formed at any time of year, and hurricanes and tropical storms have formed in the winter months. The Atlantic hurricane season is officially from June 1 to November 30. During an average hurricane season, there are at least 12 named storms, meaning at least 12 tropical disturbances that eventually turn into tropical storms or hurricanes. Where do hurricanes form? Even though hurricanes form close to the equator, due to the Earth's tilt and rotation, they cannot form within 5 degrees of the equator. Within that area, there is not enough force to cause the storm to spin. Atlantic hurricanes often start in Africa and then get fueled by warm tropical waters after being blown west by winds. How do hurricanes form? There are 4 stages to a hurricane's formation. Tropical disturbance. First, the evaporated moisture and warm air from the ocean rise to form clouds as described above. This happens in a cycle until a pattern of rotating winds develops due to the way the air moves into the low-pressure system. Once it is a cluster of thunderstorms, it is called a tropical disturbance. Tropical depression. These patterns of growing clouds, higher winds, and more thunderstorms continue as the warm air on the ocean's surface continues to enter the low-pressure area. The storm spins faster, establishing the rotational motion even further. When the wind speed is 25 miles per hour, the storm becomes a tropical storm. Tropical storm. As the storm continues to gain steam, fueled by warm ocean water and warm air near the surface of the ocean, the winds pick up further. Once they reach 39 miles per hour, it becomes a tropical storm. This stage is also when the eye of the storm forms more clearly, and the winds establish a rotational pattern around the eye. Hurricane. When one of these rotating storms reaches wind speeds of 74 miles per hour, it is now officially a hurricane. The trade winds usually keep pushing Atlantic hurricanes westward until they make landfall. As they move further inland, they get weaker, without the warm ocean water and air to fuel them. However, even as they weaken back into a tropical storm, they can still wreak havoc with high winds and heavy rain. How big is a hurricane? In addition to having high winds of at least 74 miles per hour, a hurricane is also usually around 50,000 feet high and at least 125 miles wide. The largest cyclonic storm ever was Typhoon Tip, which had a diameter of 1,380 miles. The largest Atlantic hurricane was Hurricane Sandy, which was at least 1,000 miles in diameter. That may be the reason it caused so much widespread damage despite it being only a Category 1 hurricane. What are hurricane categories? Atlantic and Pacific hurricanes are often categorized using the Saffir-Simpson scale. This scale only measures wind speed. Even a storm with a relatively low wind speed can still cause a lot of damage from flooding, tornadoes, or storm surges in the ocean. The scale was developed to determine how likely a storm would be to cause damage to property or people, so people could better prepare for storms. The National Weather Service made a statement that while these wind-based categories are useful tools for people to know how to prepare for a storm, storm surge, and expected coastal flooding levels must also be considered. Because of that, they have created several tools for tracking storm surges, including a storm surge risk map, so you can determine if you live in a risky area. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel if you like this video, so you may see more interesting and practical ones like it. We appreciate your interest and hope to see you on the next one.